Hey guys, Tiff here, and this week we're talking about downtime. One thing I discovered when I started my middle school board game club is that games with little or no downtime tend to go over better than games with more. If I had to guess, I'd say that this is because kids, at least where I teach, fill every unstructured moment with screen time, and they're not quite sure what to do when they can't get out their phones. In fact, we had to have a phone etiquette discussion rather early on after the club's inception, but that's a whole different story. If your kids have difficulty with downtime, you have a few options. You can introduce games with simultaneous or real-time mechanisms that virtually eliminate downtime. You can seek out games that involve all of the players even when it's not their turn. Or you can use games with downtime to teach kids how to effectively plan out their strategies in advance. It all depends on your goals and the types of games that your young players are interested in. Since my group is fairly new, we gravitate towards fast-paced games that require focus, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Fun Farm is just one of a whole genre of pattern recognition dexterity games that seem to stir up raucous fun in just about any age group. This one goes over great with the kids in part because of the toy factor. The components include a deck of animal cards, 2 color spot dice, and 6 adorable squeeze ball farm animals. You arrange the animals in a circle, flip one card to the center, then roll the dice. The object is to quickly grab any animal that has a matching dice face on its card before the rest of the players. If there are no matches, another card is added and the dice are rolled again. If you grab a match, you get the corresponding card as a point for endgame scoring. What makes Fun Farm extra fun is that there is the potential to grab multiple animals in one turn, which can lead to a lot of laughs and get a little physical. You're going to want to make sure your kids have neatly trimmed fingernails for this one. Fun Farm's predecessor, Ghost Blitz, is a similar game that doesn't use dice and only has one card out at a time. The twist is that you're not always trying to grab an exact match of what's depicted on the card. Ghost Blitz is also available as a really well implemented iOS app, which could be an easy way to have kids learn the rules or get in some practice if they can't play in person. Both games are great because they force kids to keep their eyes glued on the game, leaving absolutely no time for checking text or Instagram. As an added bonus, both also have pretty high player counts, up to 10 or 8 respectively. The more players, the more zany it gets. Next up is Escape, the Curse of the Temple, and it is the very definition of zero downtime. The gameplay happens simultaneously during a 10-minute period timed by a very spooky soundtrack. The premise is that you're all Indiana Jones-esque adventurers exploring a temple, discovering gems, and trying to escape before the walls crumble down on top of you. You do this by frantically rolling dice, trying to get the correct symbols to lay room tiles, move through rooms, ward off curses, and place the gems, while at the same time trying not to lock all of your dice with the dreaded black mask symbol. This game plays up to 5 players, or 6 with the highly recommended Illusions expansion, and it is completely cooperative. By teaming up in a room, you can discover larger quantities of gems, and the more gems you have, the easier it is to escape. Working together and communicating effectively is intrinsic to the game, not to mention a skill set most teenagers need to work at. The game can get super intense because at various times you all have to rush back to the starting tile, or suffer the crushing penalty of losing a die for the rest of the game. This kind of intensity might be a little overwhelming for some kids, but I find that it's generally well received. Here is one of my students reacting after his first play.
It's really intense. I mean, it's not too intense, but you can still play it whenever you want to. And it's a quick game. It doesn't take the whole time to play.
As you just heard, games with quick pacing and little downtime can be a great jumping off point for a young board game club. These types of lively games encourage excitement, create memories, and draw a crowd, which is exactly what you want when you're starting off. Most of my students were completely unaware that these types of games exist, and it's been a real treat to watch them discover that board games can be just as, or even more exciting than the digital games that they're familiar with. I hope it got you excited about gaming with kids, and I'll see you back next time.